Welcome to COEP Impressions 2020's live session. Team Impressions wishes each and every one of you a very happy International Artist Day.
We believe there's an artist in all of us, and that's why we're here today to celebrate with you guys with two amazing interactions with Snubby J and Isak Danielson, and a special performance by Snubby J just for us.
Let's dive right in and talk to one of the most creative musicians we've ever come across, Snubby J. Be sure to stick around for his energetic performance later in this stream.
Hello, sir. On behalf of College of Engineering Pune and Impressions 2020, I wish you a very happy International Artist Day and welcome you to the fifth edition of our fest. For our audience watching, Snubby J is an immensely passionate musician joining us all the way from the United States. He's the creator of the beautifully crafted instrument, the rimba tubes. He has inspired hobbyists and musicians from all over the world to make their own version of it. Ken's story is truly inspiring, and we're really excited to have him here to talk with us today. So, without any further delay, let's dive right in.
Honored. Thank you.
Okay. So, did you have a passion for music since a very young age?
I did. I was really inspired by our family piano. I remember at a very young age, before I could even really walk, I would go up and start banging on the keys, mainly just making noise, but it definitely developed into a musical interest.
So, which instruments can you play aside from obviously the rimba tubes?
I grew up playing the piano, so I kind of naturally dove into similar instruments. So xylophone, marimba, accordion is a recent addition, but a lot of percussion, piano-based instruments, and then a couple stringed instruments like a little bit of guitar, ukulele, and bass.
That's amazing. You're proficient in almost everything then.
Mostly, I think like trombone, trumpets. I probably not as versatile, but definitely things you get bang on. I could probably do. Tablas probably. I'll have to get my hands on some of those someday.
Well, we'd love to see that too, sir.
It'll be fun.
Or hear that. So, another question we have is what thought was going through 14-year-old Ken's mind when he decided to make his first PVC instrument?
I was definitely looking for some change, some inspiration, and I remember seeing this performance group called the Blue Man Group. They're based in the United States, and they have similar pipe instruments. And I thought it was the coolest thing that I thought I wanted to build my own, set it up like a piano though, and start playing my own music.
That's lovely. And then, how did that process take you to making the rimba tubes?
It started off as a hobby, and it was really my sister that encouraged me to start making YouTube videos with it. So it kind of just went from just banging on PVC pipe to then really flushing it out to be a transportable instrument and an instrument that I would share with the world on a bigger scale.
So you started making YouTube videos from a really from the very start of
Pretty early on. Yeah, I'd already, been playing piano for years, so I already had like songs in my head that I wanted to play, but shortly after building my instrument in 2007, I started making YouTube videos with it.
Oh, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
how was the response to that?
It was small but positive. It was really initially with my small communities, and it wasn't until 3 years later that I had a video fortunately go viral, and it was after that it's just been positive ever since. Been very, very lucky in that way.
So it must have been really encouraging, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime you can get support for the work you do, whether it's, art or otherwise, it's empowering.
That's such that's such a nice community to have around who supports you and encourages you to always do better.
Absolutely necessary. Good family, good friends. I'm very grateful.
That's amazing. And another quite intriguing question that we had, sir, was why the name Snubby J?
This is maybe I could throw it back to you. Do you have a nickname for yourself? It's like for Vaidehi. Do you have a nickname?
Well, Well, funnily enough, my friends do call me Mocha. The coffee.
Mocha?
Yeah.
That's a great name. See, I didn't have that growing up. I had just Kent was my real name, and you can't get anything shorter than Kent, you know? It's like one syllable. And I thought it'd be really nice to have my own nickname. So it literally came out of the blue for me. I was hopping in the car with my family, and I was like, what about Snubby? Snubby J. And it came out of nowhere, and I didn't even know what the word snub meant. I would have maybe chose a different term, but it stuck, and I made it my YouTube channel name, and it's been history ever since.
Well, that's amazing.
It's pretty silly. Just a silly, no nonsense name, though.
Well, it still has such a big influence now.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's stuck around.
And what about the name the Rimba Tubes?
Rimba Tubes was more of a deliberate process. It was maybe four years into have already built my PVC instrument, and my videos were starting to get more popular online, that people were asking what I called it, and it didn't feel right to just call it PVC instrument. So I remember making a giant list of names of every possibility I could think of, every permutation and variable of maybe it's pipe tubes or pipe hits or hit tubes, and just all the way down the list, came up with like over 100, and then it just kind of crossed them all off until I was like, Rimba Tubes. And Rimba is short for marimba, which is the wooden mallet musical instrument from Africa, and then tubes because they're plumbing pipe tubes. And I just felt like that was a nice, easy way to say it, and I was the only one calling things Rimba Tubes online at the time, so it made sense.
Well, it was quite a unique name, and it has created such a big influence. Again, just like Snubby J.
Yeah, it's Snubby J.
So, tell us about a memorable performance or a show that you've done.
I actually was just thinking of this. I last year was invited to perform in India. I got to collaborate with a pipe company out there and performed in, Bengaluru, Mumbai, and New Delhi. And to be able to travel around your beautiful country and experience not only the amazing food, but all the different culture, and then see all these different cities, that was a pretty powerful experience and very memorable one for that.
Oh, that's lovely. So we would love to see you in Pune. On
I
camera.
know.
I mean, we
I'd
can't
love to,
wait for
yeah,
next.
see some other places. I love traveling, so it's always fun to be able to pop around. It's hard right now when we can't, so I'm grateful for y'all making this experience happen.
Well, offline fests will be much more exciting. Of course, we're trying our best with online too, but we'd love to have you offline.
Yeah.
So, how do you plan on experimenting with the Rimba tubes in the future?
It's been fun getting invited for different collaborations, so be able to perform with other instrumentalists, and that's what drew me to your proposal initially, was to be able to like collaborate with all these different international artists. So I think that's part of the fun for me, is be able to fit into all these different unexpected genres and instrument collaborations. But I hope to dive more into my own music with different layering of other sounds as well. Maybe even experimenting with like, cool effects on the tubes themselves. But I just love the purity of the clean pipe sounds, that I think it would be nice to just keep exploring what other people are curious to hear with it.
That's really interesting.
It's fun, it's like I've gone all these crazy, like, go be able to perform in India or perform in like cool little pop-up shows with different people. It's something I never would have imagined when I first started this. So it's definitely taken a life of its own, and I'm honored to be along for that ride.
Definitely, sir. And of course, seeing you perform would be amazing for everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
So,
thank you.
Any other instruments that you've created, or like the Rimba tubes was your main?
The main one, that's the one that stuck around. I've dabbled with some other fun things. I've done commercials with different products, like soda cans, or making sounds out of rubber bands. But I think the tubes have literally withstood the time, because I literally can just bang on it and it won't break. It can travel easily. So that's just what people have always associated with me with, that I've stuck around with that.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any song you particularly love playing?
There's a couple of cover songs I enjoy. like Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. There's the Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Yeah.
He's a Pirate by Hans Zimmer and Klaus Badelt. But I had a lot of fun in India playing J Ho, which from the Bollywood film. Yeah. And that one's really fun to pull out just because it ignites people's nostalgia and memories, and it's always music is a great way to connect with other people and to be able to have these pieces played in an unconventional way. It's fun to be able to share that music, and I get joy out of it when I see other people light up as well.
And it's quite an energetic song. I mean, it really
It's so
pumps
fun.
you up.
J-Ho! Yeah, I might sneak it into my show for y'all, so you'll maybe get a little taste of it.
We will definitely look forward to that. So. Well, what advice would you give to every young artist who is trying to find their unique passion or their art?
That's a good question. It's hard when you're pressured by your community, your family, or whoever, the world, to fit into a box, to follow the norm. I think there's a certain level of honoring what has come before us, but you have to be able to take that and then take it in a new direction to inspire the next generation. And I think really following my own path, as cliche as that sounds, of like following my bliss and committing to playing the pipes and committing to music, I've found so many more wonderful experiences by not just going half at it. It was just like fully dedicating. So whatever you're curious about, follow that curiosity, and if you can commit as far as you can and really see the end result come together, that's when it's the most fulfilling.
So that is when you actually find your passion.
Yeah, and some people just never finish, like I'm an artist. I understand, like, you sometimes start a project and then you never finish it. So literally just finishing that project and seeing it through, I think that's the best thing we can do as artists.
That is quite motivating, sir, to hear. Really.
Yeah. Just do it.
That's one way of looking at it, but I really liked what you said earlier about
Have you heard the story? There was like a proposal of an idea of like a class of Potter students, where half the class is going to be graded on the number of pots they make, and then there's another half of the class where all the students are going to be graded on the quality. So one is focused on quantity, like if you can make over 100 pots in the course of our semester, you get an A+. And then there's other class, you have to make the perfect, beautiful, sculpted pot, and you'll be graded on that. The result was that the group that had made the most, they had enough experience because they knew how to do it efficiently and quickly and actually saw it through, that they ended up having the best quality pots and had the most pots because they were physically doing it all the time, versus the people who dwelled on it and didn't actually finish the project, didn't actually have as great of a result. So I think that's through the act of doing it, seeing through the projects, that's when you can actually reap the benefits of a really beautiful finished result.
So it's all about just putting yourself out there and doing it.
You said it even better than me. You said it in like 4 words. Thank you. We have our star speaker right here. Thank you.
I am sure we all loved your story too. I mean, it's a really nice story. I mean, the first time you talked about it, I'm like, maybe the ones who focused on quality, they would have done better.
Yeah.
Different perspectives. They're really intriguing.
Mm-hmm. Our world thrives on seeing results, and I think as artists, we're all about the process, and we want to be able to indulge in like discoveries and find new things. But unless you're doing it and then showing something for it, you can't really. It's all of it, and be able to remember that as an artist too. It's like, yeah, you got to be able to share your work. You want to be able to share it with the world. It's part of life, sharing.
It's definitely the process that gets us to the result, and that's what everyone as artists should focus on.
And people, sharing, connecting. It's all about,
Definitely. Sir, this has been a wonderful session. Thank you so much for taking out the time to talk to us about you and your wonderful world of music. The conversation with you was extremely enlightening, and personally, I loved your joyful attitude so much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a reflection of your joy.
Oh, thank you. And you gave us a glimpse of your creative mind, and I'm sure we have learned so much from you today. From Team Impressions and College of Engineering Pune, we thank you. And we would genuinely love to have you be a part of our upcoming editions and our forthcoming editions of the fest. Sometime in
Thank
Pune,
you.
definitely.
I would be honored, very honored.
Yeah. So
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
thank you, sir.
Anybody galoo. Thank you.
Dhanyawad.
Snubby J's enthusiasm doesn't end here. Stay tuned for his performance right after this interaction. For our next segment, we have a graceful master of expressing his heart through music. Joining us all the way from Sweden, Isak Danielson.
Hi Isaac. Today on International Artist Day, Impressions 20 welcomes one of the best male voices in Scandinavian pop music, Mr. Isak Danielson, for this interview session. The third place awardee of X Factor Sweden 2012, he went on to release two extremely popular albums, winning hearts across the world. So, before we start, I'd just like to wish you a very happy International Artist Day.
Thank you very much. That was a very nice introduction. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's start with your journey in the world of music.
Yes.
Going back to the origins, when or where do you think it really began for you?
I think I've always wanted to make music, and I've always been very interested in music and standing on stage and singing and performing. So I don't know. I think it really began after doing the X Factor and when I started to write my own music. That's where it all really began. Finding my own sound and yeah, trying to find who I was as an artist.
That's nice. That's nice. So, how would you describe your journey from X Factor to mainstream music? It must have been quite a roller coaster for you. How was it?
It was. I mean, it was just spending time in the studio, finding out what you like and what you don't like, and what music suits your voice and what music suits your ear. So it took some time, but I think it was all really time spent in the studio and making music. That's really what got me to find. To find the music that I'm making today and that I wanted to make then, So.
Yeah. So you must have imagined your career in music back then, right? And today you're a musician, well-renowned musician. So how different has it been from what you expected it to be?
It's been ups and downs, but honestly, I've just always believed in myself and I've always kept going. So I think it's been hard, but it's still, when you want something so much, you just see a goal and you strive for it and you go for it. So it's been like yeah, I don't know. I try to think of like the journey also as a part of it, that's fun too. It's not only about reaching the goal; it's about the journey and what you're learning and the people that you meet and all of that along the way. So it's been hard, but it's been it's hard to say how I imagine it. I don't know. You never know. Everybody has their own
Yeah.
life journey.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So back then you must have had has your style of producing music or making music, has it changed over the years or has it been the same?
It depends on like the person that I meet, the songwriter or the producer that I meet and make music with, but I think it's been pretty similar, honestly, from the start. I think you always get better and you evolve, but it's been pretty similar.
Yeah. So how does it start for you? When you want to make a song, where do you start? Is it like a tune? Is it a lyric? Or is it just a thought that you want to express? How does it start?
Oh, it's very different. It can be all that. But usually, you know, you meet this producer or the songwriter that you're with in the studio, and they either play an instrument and you get inspired, and either I start singing a melody or they start singing a melody, and um, I usually it's the melody and like the music that starts it all off, and then you're kind of like, you know, trying to figure out what you've been thinking about lately, if you're in love, if you're, you know, inspired by a movie that you've seen or a song or something that's happening in the world, and you kind of try to express that, and you talk about the subject and what you want to sing about and what you want the song to be about, and then you write the lyrics. So yeah, I'm not one of those singers or songwriters that, you know, wake up in the middle of the night like, ooh, I have an idea. No, it's usually like, you go to the studio and you know you're gonna make a song and you make a song.
Yeah, yeah, that's nice. Everyone has their own way, and it's unique to every artist.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Yeah. So apart from making music, you also perform live a lot. So
Yes.
you're standing backstage, about to go on stage. What is going through your mind? Are you nervous, or are you excited, or are you a mixture of both?
It's a mixture of both. I usually go crazy before performing live because I have so much energy or adrenaline. But I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. What goes through my mind is oof, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what goes through my mind. But I'm very nervous. But as soon as you get on stage, you know, and start to sing, that kind of disappears, and you're in the moment. And I think that's what I try to think, is like be in the moment and enjoy every second of, you know, being able to stand here in front of people and sing and express, you know, your feelings and thoughts that you've written down in songs.
Is there anything you do to like cope up with the nervousness? Is there some?
I'm just kidding. No, I think I try to breathe. Sometimes I meditate. That kind of either can go both ways, either stress me more or calm me down. I dance a lot. I dance to, like, you know, rap or like hip hop music, and really like pop music, just dance around and try to, you know,
Loosen up.
it depends, but yeah, I try to
Yeah.
breathe. Sometimes also I kind of look in, sometimes I look myself in the mirror and I'm like, you know, kind of just, you know, trying to look at myself and be like, you can do this, you're awesome, you know, it's gonna be fine. To kind of like, you know, have that mindset when I go on stage, so I don't, you know, you have to believe in yourself and know what you're doing, you know.
Yeah. So recently, a couple days ago, you released your newest song, Almost Heaven.
Yeah.
How did it come to be? Would you like to talk about it?
This song is a cover, and it was written by Jeremiah Lord Harmon, an American singer-songwriter. And when I heard the song, I knew I wanted to record it. I was so excited to sing this song, and I did. And then it's the first single off of the new album that's coming in the beginning of next year.
That's nice.
And when we had all the songs together, it just felt like a good representation of the album and the sound and what the sound was going to be. And I really, it felt pretty simple. Like it just happened, and it felt really good. So I wanted to have that as the first single.
It's a beautiful song. I've
It
been
really
listening
is.
to it. Yeah, it really is beautiful.
Yeah.
Both the lyrics and your version of it, they're both beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And it's not a cover album, so it's not only going to be covers. There's going to be
Yeah.
songs that I've written.
Oh,
But yeah, thank you so much. I
looking
really-
forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, how has the pandemic situation been for you? Like, I'm not exactly sure how things are there in Sweden, but what have you been up to, and have you learned anything yourself?
I think the pandemic situation has been okay. I was going to do a tour in Scandinavia, and that was postponed. But it's been okay. I've been over the summer. I've just been hanging out at my summer house, hanging out with friends. You know, just enjoying summer in Sweden. And then now I've been able to go to the studio and work a lot and write a lot of music. So it's been okay. And Sweden, the situation in Sweden is you know, we don't have that much of a lockdown, so it's okay. It's not.
That's great. So, on a lighter note, if you weren't a singer and a songwriter, what would you be in life?
Um, I would either be a psychiatrist,
Oh,
because I'm messed up myself in the head, so it'd be fun to learn about, you know, the mind and all that. And then and then I'm also very interested in planes. I don't like flying, but I like planes. I don't know, maybe I would work in like making planes. I don't know. It's interesting. Like I really am interested by planes.
maybe you can come become an engineer with us over here.
Yes, yes, maybe.
That
No,
would be
no.
fun.
I also had I had a dream of being like a pilot, but then I was like, no way. Doing like the test, you know, for like, you know, mindfulness, I would not pass that test. I would be such a, oh, something's happening. What am I gonna do? So no, I'm not gonna be a pilot. But yes, maybe something with planes. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. So, do you have a dream project you want to do, or like a dream collaboration, or a dream song, maybe?
A dream project? Not really. It would be really fun to make music for a film, like a specific, you know, somebody saying like, this is the script and you're gonna make this type of song to this movie. That would be really fun. And dream collaboration, I mean, most of the singers that I really would want to collaborate with are dead, but I really know. So I would love to sing with Adele.
Oh, that's beautiful. Adele
Yeah.
is amazing. Adele
Yeah.
is, yeah,
Amazing.
no doubt. So finally, what advice or what suggestion would you give to the young amateur artists who are out there producing their own music?
My advice would be to 100% believe in yourself and know what you want and go for it. And try to do as much as you can by yourself and be in full control and own your rights and your masters and your music. And, you know, really, I think, honestly, like the main thing is to believe in yourself, to really just know that you're good at what you're doing, and if you're not, just keep going till you are, you know. Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
coming from you. This is like an inspiration because you have made your own way in this industry. So you're truly an idol for all of us, I guess.
Thank you so much. That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So on this note, I guess we can conclude this interview. On behalf of Team Impressions, I thank you for the wonderful insights you have given us into your effort, your process and time for it to take where you are today. I myself learned a lot sitting here. I mean, you talked about how you deal with stress before a live performance, and it's it's something I'll keep in mind. So
Yeah.
that's all then. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for this interview. Maybe I'll see you in India someday.
Yeah, sure. Definitely come visit Impressions. We'll
Yes.
send you a formal invite and it'll be
I
great.
would love it.
Yeah,
I would love it. When Corona's over, I'll come to India.
we're looking forward to it. We'll hold you up on that, okay?
Thank you so much. It was great to
Yeah.
meet you.
And now, the segment all of us have been waiting for. Snubby J is back with a vibrant and lively performance for all of us. Let's get the music started.
Thank you all so much for watching the stream. My name is Snubby J. This is also Snubby J, and this is also Snubby J. We're coming to you from Portland, Oregon, United States of America, and it's a huge honor to be streaming halfway across the world over to India. Thank you for having us. That last song was an original song called Beluga Jump, and we're gonna let things calm down a little bit more now with this next original song of mine debuting right here. It's called Alaska. Hope you enjoy. Thank you so much. So you might be curious about what are these instruments that we're playing. So over on my left, I have Snubby J playing accordion. And over here we have ukulele and cajon, it's a box drum. And front and center, you have homemade instruments that I call the rimba tubes. It's a collection of plumbing pipe, all different lengths, set up like a piano. All the white keys, and all the black keys. And I put all these together so that I can take songs that I grew up playing on the piano and put it onto this. But what's fun for me is taking songs that are recognizable and putting it onto this instrument. So for instance, a little piece that hopefully you all know called J-Ho. Just a little taste of that song I learned last year when I was over in India learning some songs for some showcases. But the time is nearing the end, unfortunately. I have one more final song to share with you all. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm Snubby J.
I'm Snubby J. And I'm Snubby J.
And we are very honored to be a part of this, so thank you for having us. This last song is another original song called Experience of Sound. Thank you guys so much. We're Snubby J.
Wasn't this an absolutely brilliant performance? I'm sure it left all of us completely mesmerized and took us right into our creative and artistic mindset.
Also, on our YouTube channel, Alexander Misko, the great fingerstyle guitarist, is joining us at 9 p.m. Be sure to tune in.